Assaamo Alaykum, guys. It's me, Salam Sabi, and this is a video about polygyny. And this video is actually directed towards those who practice it. I don't know if I'm really going to get any comments or any responses, but inshallah, someone may respond. I'm asking about, I guess it's a question more directed towards the women that are involved in polygynist relationships. Not just any, but just exactly Islamic. I'm aiming at Islamic marriage. I'm trying to understand because, I hear these stories. I'm actually a member of a lot of pages on Facebook where, like, Islamic pages where Muslims go and they ask questions about marriage and blah blah blah. And it's so shocking how many people come on there, and it's usually the women who are like, I just found out that my husband has been married to another woman for, I don't know, a year, 2 years, a few months, and I was completely left in the dark. Like, I had no idea he was even married to this other woman. Sometimes these sisters live a state away. Sometimes they live down the street. Sometimes they go to your masjid. This video is not about reflecting negatively on any Muslim women. This is not a video that's here to down polygyny. I'm just trying to have a better understanding of the Muslima's mindset when she becomes the co-wife. And because this doesn't happen all the time, but I've seen this, and it's becoming more and more common, where the sister finds out that her husband's married to another woman and she has absolutely no idea. And what I'm just trying to understand is the mind process of that second wife, because I understand that it is lawful to have more than one wife if you can do just by all. And I just know that a marriage in Islam can't be a secret. Now, it has been shown to me that if a marriage is going to cause problems or something like that, what I'm going to do is cut and paste it and put it on there. And if people want to, they can explain what exactly that surah was trying to say, because I'm not exactly sure. But it's like, it's okay to marry in secret. Like, that's what I got out of it. But that's my interpretation. I may be completely wrong. So I'm going to post it, and you guys can tell me what it's really trying to say, because it seems like it was saying if you know that your marriage is going to be persecuted, then it's okay to marry in secret. But from what I have been taught and what I've read in some Islamic books, it said it is best for the husband to let the wife know as soon as possible. Now, if she's the type of person who will get violent or just act out, then it's best to tell her after you marry. But my question is how long should you wait? Should you wait a few weeks, a few days, a few months, a few years, after a few kids with the second wife? When should this be made public? Because from what I know, that there are no secret marriages in Islam, and that also applies to the second, third, or fourth wife. So I'm asking the sisters who are involved in polygynist relationships, can you please explain to me how you can marry a man knowing that his first wife knows absolutely nothing about you? Because there are stories where a man will actually sit there and tell the second wife, well, I'm not ready to tell my first wife about you, so this relationship is kind of a secret. Now, doesn't that put you on the status of a mistress? I know your marriage is lawful. Well, is a secret marriage even lawful? Are you married to someone if it's a secret? So from what I've seen, it's still a marriage, even though it was secret. That's not knowledge that I necessarily know from the Quran or from the sunnah, but even if it's a secret, it seems to be a valid marriage. I'm just asking sisters, like, how do you feel about being the secret woman and the other sister knows absolutely nothing about you? You're laying in bed with this man, having sexual intercourse with this man, probably having children or planning on having a family. How do you deal with the fact that you're not known yet to the other woman? And as sisters, aren't we supposed to support and love one another? I'm not judging you. I'm just trying to understand what is going through your mind when you marry a man and he tells you that you're his second wife, but he doesn't want his first wife to know. And that's not the only thing that goes along with that, because if his first wife doesn't know about you, then that most likely means that his Islamic community where his wife lives probably knows nothing about you either. So now it's not just a secret marriage between two people, it's a secret marriage amongst the whole community, amongst the whole Islamic community. How does it feel to walk around knowing that you have not been completely claimed, that you're like you're like a disease that someone is trying to hide? The reason why I see it in such a negative light is because I truly believe before you marry someone, you need to know how he treats his first wife. And the only way to know this is to meet the first wife and to have an understanding of what type of man you are marrying. How do you know he's a good Muslim? And why is he getting a second wife? Is he getting a second wife because his wife is tired, she's in school, she has kids, she doesn't have time to give him the attention that he deserves? Or is he just marrying because his heart is very lustful? What is the purpose of this second marriage? Is it just because he wants a second wife? Why is he marrying you? And have you ever stopped and thought, why can I not meet the first sister? Now, I do know that the sisters don't really have to ever meet, that they don't really have to ever speak, and they don't really have to be friends. They just have to be cordial if they're in each other's presence. Assalam Alayku, and just be respectful of each other and stuff like that. That's perfectly fine, but I'm just trying to understand why you would want to be a secret. To me, that just seems kind of desperate. That's just my opinion. If I'm wrong, please correct me. It just seems kind of desperate in my mind as a woman, not to a man, but to a woman, that you would marry somebody who hides you away. I just don't understand. His first wife is completely being acknowledged, but you're not. And I understand that sometimes second marriages, third marriages, fourth marriages are hidden because many people and many Muslims do frown upon polygyny. It is lawful, but many of us tend to not really look at it in a positive light. So I'm just trying to understand what's going through the mind of the second sister. Another thing, how do you feel about having unprotected intercourse with your husband, knowing that he's going to go back and have unprotected intercourse with his wife, and you don't really know if you don't know her hygiene, you don't know if she hasn't, you really don't know what's going on with her. So I'm trying to understand, how do you feel about sleeping with a man who's you both basically it's gone from a second party relationship to a third party relationship. And as we all know, women get sexually transmitted infections that are not, have no symptoms that they can pass on to their partner. And a lot of times men have no symptoms and then they go back to the other wife and pass that on. That also includes certain types of STDs, because let's be realistic, most people do not get STD tested before that they get married. Especially I've noticed this within the Islamic community. You seem to have a natural trust for someone just because they are Muslim. Personally, I don't trust anyone. So because most Muslims in this country are reverts that were once sexually active, had children in other marriages or in other relationships. So how do you feel that now you're exchanging fluids, not just with this man but his wife? I mean, how do you feel? I mean, do you feel that's safe medically? I mean, it's just, I'm just trying to understand, because I'm just so tired of hearing stories about how the first wife found out that he was married to another woman, and or he had a child with the other woman. And that sounds especially crazy. Like, you just had a child and it's hidden. It just seems to get worse and worse and worse. So I'm just trying to understand. And for the people who hate Muslims, this does not reflect on all Muslims, okay? Not all Muslims practice polygamy. It's actually polygyny, because it's two men or more than one woman or whatever. So I'm just trying to have an understanding. So if someone wants to private message me, that's fine. If you're going to private message me, don't just send me like ayats and surahs and sunnah. You need to explain to me why you are doing what you are doing. I understand that you're giving me the explanation, but what is your personal reason behind this? So that's my video, and Assaamo Alayku.